So Donald Trump signed an executive order about pharmaceutical pricing, and it is supposed to lower the cost of prescriptions 30 to 80%. However, I read the executive order, and it doesn't actually say how. It just says, well, Department of Health and Human Services is going to do this, and we're going to look into that, directing the FTC to look into some other things and come up with some plans. It doesn't say anything about how, and I don't know if they're going to actually be able to do anything about it. But one of the things it does say is that other countries are paying less for prescription drugs than we are, and they want companies to provide us with that same level of pricing. But it, again, doesn't say how, doesn't say what regulations, and I'm guessing to do any sort of major change, it's going to take Congress, and that's not going to probably happen, not with this current Congress. They can't agree on much. So he's asking these companies basically just give us a break, cut us a break, and we're going to make things better. Now, as for their part, a lot of Trump supporters are going to sit there and look at this executive order. They're not going to read what it actually is. And they're going to go, see, Donald Trump's doing something. This is another manufactured win by this administration. They're trying to gin up some sort of support to prove they're doing something, that they're actually making things better. But like I said, this executive order doesn't actually say how it's going to make anything better, just that they're going to look into making things better. But that's not what Donald Trump comes out and says, of course, publicly. He says this is going to lower the prices. We're going to make it happen. The two things don't necessarily agree. Donald Trump doesn't actually know what he's talking about in most cases. He just says things that he thinks are going to make him look strong, that make him look tough, and deliver him the win. That's what this is all about. So we'll see how this actually gets implemented, if he does actually end up lowering the cost of pharmaceuticals with this executive order. But from the gist of the text, there's nothing in there that says how it's going to happen, other than maybe starting to allow purchasing direct from manufacturer for pharmaceuticals. But even that, there's a lot of state laws that are in place about how you have to go about acquiring them. So we will see what happens with it. I think it's just a lot of talk trying to get people excited about him doing something to make the economy better, about making the price of prescription drugs more affordable. But there's no substance here. And that's all Donald Trump is. It's all smoke and mirrors and big promises with very little follow through, very little substance, that we don't get anything on the backside of it, just a lot of empty promises, because that's all he's good for.